Yes, guys, how do you like a little cheeky Thursday on-time show? You know, sometimes we come a little bit late, sometimes we come a little bit early. We always take back what we give and give what we take back. Guys, we're here today, bang on the money. I hope Johnny H is in fine spirits. He's looking like he's caught a little bit of sunshine, hasn't he, eh? A little bit of tan on that lovely little grid of his. Guys, we've got some very interesting stories to drop to you. We've got the Gibbs-White saga. We have a breaking story that Alex Isak has handed in a transfer request, according to reports this morning. We've got sort of general sort of thought experiments of whether or not the top four are really catchable at this stage with their incredible spend. Plus, we've got about another 1,000 different transfer news, views, and clues to get through for you. Plus, we have the biggest show of a new channel, the first show of a new channel starting tonight at 8 p.m. Johnny and myself are both going to be on it. Please make sure you get down into the description and smash the follow that link over to there. Hit the subscribe button. Looking forward to seeing you then. Before we get into anything else, before I ask Johnny how you doing, please smash the like button on the video. Please hit the subscribe if you haven't already. It's free to do. If you are watching this for the first time, you can hit the subscribe, get free access, thumb the thumb, rub the sub, get straight into the chat, and let us know where you're from and who you support. Also, guys, all of these things are available on the podcast platforms below, Spotify, where you can see the video version, and also on Apple Pods. Johnny, how are you, mate? How you doing?
I'm all right. The sun's gone out. Perfect time for me to leave the beach. Apparently, Ronaldo's out here. There's loads. There's quite a few players out here, or a few celebs out in Mallorca here at the moment.
At your hotel?
Just along the coast. I was in Puerto Portals last night. If anyone knows it, it's buzzing. Forget Marbella and Puerto Banús. It's classless, tacky. Puerto Portals is beautiful. Palma. Lovely.
Did you find the Cremonese shirt?
I haven't found a Cremonese shirt, but
you found something.
First shirt is on the way. What was my first shirt?
Your first shirt was Bilbao.
I think it's Bilbao, or
it's on its way. It's on its way from the Bilbao. It's on its way. I don't know. Did I get the right size? I don't care. All I know is my Bilbao shirt's on its way.
Listen, if anyone wants to sponsor me hats, I'm 100% behind it. And as he said, I needed a new hat for the day. So give me 1 second. Because I've got
wearing a cowboy hat, is he? Or is he come back wearing a cowboy hat? What do you think here? Flat cap?
No,
white hat?
I don't think I bought it. No, I didn't.
He's let us down.
He's let us
down.
I let it down. But if anyone wants to sponsorship, someone did send me a couple of hats from on my Twitter account, so thank you very much for that, guys. This is a buzzing window. Morgan Gibbs-White, for all those who are in here saying what happened to the Morgan Gibbs-White, that's going to be covered as well. Obviously,
let's start with it now.
Let's start with it. Look, the news is okay. He's gone to join the rest of the squad in Portugal, and you know, you can imagine the fan base went into meltdown, understandably. It doesn't mean the deal is dead and buried. I mean, look what happened with Kane and Bayern Munich, how long that dragged on for. Look at the Bale deal or the Modric deal. They all went on for a considerable amount of time before that they were actually sorted out. So, I wouldn't completely rule out the deal being done. I think there is some concern, though, the fact that Nottingham Forest chairman Nicholas Randall QC is practices in the area of employment and sports and pensions law, and he's recognised by both the principal legal director as a leading practitioner in all three of these fields. So this is a guy who knows sports law inside out, and there would have been a reason that he is the chairman of the club, considering Marinakis has sailed close to the wind on a few occasions. So they're not dealing with, something small here, I wouldn't have thought. But saying that, CAA are a huge global company, and confidentiality is part and parcel of their manifesto. And I can't think for 1 minute that they're going to take too kindly to being accused by Marinakis of skullduggery and what have you to get this deal over the line. I just don't buy it. They have a code of ethics, and I just don't think that they would risk something like this just for one deal. If you look at how many deals they do globally each year in music, football, sport in general, they're huge, right? So no, I don't buy it. I just think this is shenanigans trying to delay. The question, I guess, Sean, is do Spurs move on, or are we that naive to think the Spurs are just sitting there thinking, oh, we'll wait. We're not dealing with Muppets here, right? They know full well the ramifications. Well, they're sitting there and the top four are running away spending money. I mean, what are your thoughts, Sean?
So, yeah, I know you sent me that link yesterday about the lawyer, and I opened it up and it was just like I didn't know who it was. And it was just like at the homepage of someone's bio on his website. I was like, why am I looking at a QC? What's this? So I put it away. Now I understand. Look, it's an interesting take. Certainly, that adds a little bit of more weight behind the idea that they're confident that they're legally they have an issue or they have a clause. What I would say, and maybe this is sort of leveraged by the fact that I don't really care that much about Morgan Gibbs-White being a Tottenham player. So maybe I'm more happy to sort of swing this direction because there's a little bias in my opinion here. But if Tottenham think they've done nothing wrong, and if you're right, and it makes sense that, like, is it worth it to CAA to risk their own reputation by doing something over one deal like this and letting it cat out of the bag? Then if Tottenham haven't done anything wrong and the agency haven't done anything wrong, then it begs the question, first of all, how is it that we knew allegedly, the exact time and the exact price to put in to trigger the clause? But more than any of that, to me, the biggest flag here, yellow flag, I'll call it, not a red flag, the biggest yellow flag, the biggest point of curiosity is if we haven't done anything wrong and neither has the agent or the player, then why are we allowing Nottingham Forest to just not answer the phone, not communicate with us, and continue to play a player that we believe by all rights should be a Tottenham player by now? The fact that we're allowing that to happen and that we haven't kicked up merry hell, the fact that Tottenham haven't also, or more importantly, improved upon the threat of legal jeopardy that Forest threw our way, they put in a complaint against us, flip it back on them if we think we're innocent. The fact that we haven't, the fact that he played against whoever it was he played against last Saturday, the fact that he's now out on the training camp and probably going to play on the weekend in 48 hours time, like, it's just unacceptable in a world where you've done everything by the book. So I don't believe Daniel Levy would be someone that is just like, oh, we'll just let this one play out at the Nottingham Forest pace. He's not that sort of guy. He doesn't like taking no for an answer. He doesn't like being bullied. So when I factor those things into the equation, I think that absent this notion that there is things going on in the background that we're just not aware of them, but the fact that we've been aware of everything else that's happened since this story broke, but that's a possibility. But in any event, I think that it suggests to me that Tottenham feel like they're probably not in the right here, but otherwise they would have handled it a little bit differently. The last thing I'll say, didn't Nottingham Forest, I know you mentioned about the fact that Nottingham Forest tried to blame us for us buying Brennan Johnson for more money than what they could have got from Brentford.
Yeah.
But isn't that another situation? I can't remember the details or specifics, but looking back at it now, isn't that another situation almost where it's like the kind of almost carbon copy, slightly different sort of variables, but are we not the Brentford in that situation? And Marinakis has done this before, but used us as the Manchester City, whereby they just think, no, we'll just hold off on Brentford, and then we'll wait until we get a bigger offer, and then Tottenham played Tottenham with a donut in that scenario as well. Do
you know what, Sean? A bit like, I mean, for you guys out there who don't know what's going on at the moment, there's almost a campaign against this new channel called the Spurs 5 that we're launching, with people spewing all sorts of nonsense and rubbish. And what haven't we done, Sean? You and I, we haven't got involved. We haven't given it oxygen. We haven't let it breathe, because by doing so, you're playing their game, right? And I believe in the same for context, this is what Spurs are doing, giving them no context. And for all we know, right now, Spurs have got another player lined up that we don't know about. And, that's the way I look at it. And I'm the same with you. If we sign Morgan Gibbs-White, great. And if we don't, I'm not bothered. Okay. If it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. It wasn't meant to be. And we'll move on to another player. That's it in a nutshell. And, quietly, confidently, he might just be saying, you know what? TAA might be saying to him, you know what, Morgan, just toe the line. It's going to happen, right? They want us to tread the water until they sign their player. We really don't know. But you know what?
I don't want him at this stage. I feel like, I know Gibbs-White's got another priority with his pregnancy, of his wife's pregnancy and stuff. But he should be demanding. He should be doing what, if he really wants to come to Tottenham. And again, if everybody feels like they're an innocent party here, just doing business, then I think that Gibbs-White should potentially be saying, what the way Gyökeres did. Like, come on, what's going on here? Like, I want to leave.
Or
the clause has been triggered. Or we just move on, mate. Move on. He's not that important.
Well, this is what I'm saying.
Not that important.
How would it be if suddenly Spurs signed Eze?
Yeah, much better.
Well,
yeah,
that's what I'm saying. So, let's not dwell on it. Let's not spend too much time on it because, there's so much more going on and so much more going on Football Inc. Let's talk about Sonny. While we're at Spurs, let's talk about Sonny. I mean, this deal, we've spoken about it before. I didn't actually see the link. Sean said to me there was a link earlier in February. But I was reading... and
recently as well. It was out a couple of weeks ago as well, a few weeks ago.
I missed it. I've got to be honest with you. But I was saying to Sean on here, I've seen the details of the deal that was set up for David Beckham when he went out to America and the deal that Lionel Messi set up. Sonny is a unique character because he doesn't bring a fan base with him. He brings a country, over 50 million people. And for him to be offered a deal in LA and to get the sort of money that we are looking for and the sort of deal that he's looking for, they can offer him a percentage of shirt sales, a percentage of uplift in attendance at the stadium. They can offer him a chance to take a stake in the club itself. Like Messi was like $12 million per 1% of purchase. For every 12 million, he could buy 1% of LA Galaxy and into Miami. So I think maybe there's lots of structured deals that go out there. And for me, he doesn't strike me, Sean, as a guy that's going out to Saudi. He's the guy that goes out to America. I can imagine because there's a lot of Koreans. There's a large Korean community in America. And I reckon this would be a great move for him and for LA.
Yeah. I think it's I think for me, I mean, I don't know how he feels about this is the thing, but I think for all Tottenham, I think there's very few Tottenham fans that are desperate to see him stay because I think it presents a lot of opportunity cost. I think if he stays, then it's more difficult to bring in another winger that we want, like an Eze or like someone else in that regard, like a Mikhail Tadze or whoever else. Richarlison is also not budging at the moment. Bissouma's not budging. There seems to be a lot of people at the club that we probably like to see not respectfully see the back of. But, three things have to be convivial for a transfer to happen. The buying club, selling club have to agree a price and the player has to want to go. And at the moment, I think there's not even any news on Manor Solomon either, Johnny. We spoke about Manor Solomon about 6 weeks ago.
Happy birthday today, Sean. Let's have
happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Manor Solomon. Happy birthday, son.
Happy birthday, Manor.
Yeah.
How old is he? 25? 24? 25?
20, maybe 25. Maybe 25, yeah.
So, look, I think it makes more sense. I mean, is there a Korean club that he might want to go back to?
No.
No?
No.
Nothing like that? I don't know. I'm just
make a global brand, right?
I know, but he's like, he doesn't care about money. He said that himself, didn't he? He said, once I got to the point where money didn't matter anymore, then all I care about is being happy.
I think he can be happy out there. And, he's a global brand ambassador for many products. And I just think that going out to America, nice environment, LA, a big career.
Does he still think that he's got enough? Does he still think that he's not on the decline like other people do, and therefore does he think that moving to the US is like that's it? The sort of career is done.
Look, he's 33, right? He's not 30 or 31. He's 33, and like Lionel Messi is out there. There's lots of players out there who are having a nice time out there. And let's be honest, the MLS is growing. You know, I know we've said it for many years, but it is growing. And let's be honest, bringing a country with you to LA is huge business for the LA brand. And you can imagine, you know, basically half a career, then walking around with LA t-shirts on, LA kits. You know, their kit sales will go through the roof. I think it's a great deal for all round. But we know it's not going to happen before the tour, as we mentioned. Don't want to keep going on about it, but if he doesn't turn up, Spurs lose 75% of the fee for going to play in the games out there. And if he doesn't play, he goes out there but doesn't play, they lose 50%. So I don't know what the actual terms of play is, whether it's 5 minutes or he's got to play at least one half. I'm not sure, but I'm sure Spurs will complete the obligation for this match, and then I believe he'll be on his way, because he's cock blocking. Sean,
he is cock blocking, mate. Yeah, I hate to call him one, but this, you know, we've got to find a reason, and this is the best reason.
Just when you thought your squad was getting proper, that player won't leave. They call that cock blocker.
Yeah,
keep calling him a cock block, but that's the kind of way it's feeling right now, isn't it? 100%.
Yeah, I'm afraid. I love him. He's been an amazing servant for the club, but right now he's cock blocking Matthias Tell and all the rest, and a potential left wing signing.
Couple of super chats. Let's just quickly say hello to the guys. Rob Walsh, Isak going to Wrexham to partner Josh Windass. ITK.
Love that. Love that.
Very good. Very good, Robbie boy. Thank you very much, mate. He's a boy from Welsh, isn't he? Robbie.
Believe it.
Good to see you, old bro. Flat cap time, says Ulrika. When Ulrika asks, Ulrika gets. Look at that. Straight in. I've got the swapsies going. Thank you very much, Ulrika. Thank you indeed, Miss. It must be late over where you are. It must be 9:45 at night in Australia or something like that. Appreciate you all, guys. Please do smash that like button and the subscribe button there to be hit. Drum the thumb, rub the sub, and then catch the chat. Johnny, let's talk before we come to the Isak story, because there's a bit of maybe a little flick here. Have you seen the story that Benjamin Cesco has apparently your player, right? That the asking price, I don't know what Leipzig are doing here, mate. Why are they doing this? But they've reduced the asking price from 100 bar to 70 bar in euros. This is according to quite big reports this morning. That's quite a drastic step off, and I'm wondering why. Are they desperate for the money? I mean, how familiar are you with your team? Have you caught up with the finances of your team since you've been handed them?
Listen, I'm devastated at what I've been handed here, right? I mean, my two best players, right? They've reduced the price of Cesco, right? I have got, and I need a refund from the club. I've got a Cesco shirt on its way.
Why didn't you get Gerstruida?
Huh?
You got Gerstruida.
Listen, it's DH Gate, mate. You don't have a lot of choice, right? I'll be lucky,
true.
You know.
Yeah. It turns up, let alone with the right name and number on the back. Yeah.
Listen, look, I'm just a bit upset. You know, I've ordered my shirt; it's on its way. And listen, they've reduced the price of Cesco, apparently, from 100 million euros to 70 million euros, and they've reduced the price now of Xavi Simons as well. Now,
what's going on though? Are they broke or something? Are they in financial problems?
Why would you sell your two best players? What is going on? Who have they got that's incoming? I need to do some research, Sean. I feel like
you do. I could tell you everything you need to know about Elche, and all you need to know is that I'm Elche. They're my club, and I'm Elche till I die.
Elche till I die.
I can't remember who the.
Yeah, you're right, geek. I don't normally get. I got to be honest with you. I don't normally get a name on the shirt. But it's. I think maybe I didn't. I just had this feeling that I did. I've got my other shirts are on the way though. I've got my Athletic Bilbao away shirt. I've got my RB Leipzig away or home shirt. I can't remember. It's a lot of red, Sean. This is going to pain me. I'm not very good at the red stuff. Right. So let's see.
Hope you're okay, mate.
Thanks, Sav.
The third member of the famous five, apparently.
The five go mad. Five go mad at Spurs. Right. Let's go to the Isak story, Sean. Right. Look. Yeah, they send him home. Eddie Howe says he sent him home because he needed a rest. Then there's the rumour coming out from the Athletic. He's got a slight thigh strain. I don't know if that's a chicken thigh strain or what, but they say he's got a thigh strain. And now, according to the Daily Mail, I mean, it's not Fabrizio Romano.
No, it is Fabrizio Romano. Romano just put it as well.
Oh, he has now.
Understand that Alex Isak remains a hang on, there's not the one, I saw one before that. Hang on, I'll put it up on here. It's me. Carry on talking, mate, and I'll put
Does this mean that if Liverpool sell Darwin Núñez, sell Luis Diaz, which is going to happen, they're going to reach an agreement with Bayern Munich, that Liverpool's front line will be Salah, Isak, Ekitike. I can't even, I mean, honestly, I've sent you the we'll look at that.
Just quickly, we'll come back to that. Alexander Isak has informed Newcastle of his desire to explore a move this summer. Club aware of players' plans and will now decide how to move, as Craig Hope of the Daily Mail was the first person to break it. Newcastle have already restarted exploring a move for a top striker in the market. Is that why they are so, like, is this news 48 hours behind that's why we're putting a bid for Visser in, because we know we're losing one? And also, like, maybe Cesco would also be, if they lose Isak, they lost out on Ekitike, maybe they go and get Visser and Cesco.
Well, I think, well, listen.
As long as they don't get cut blocked.
As long as they don't get cut blocked, but can we go to one other place that we like to go to, and it's not Turkey?
Oh, we're going over there. Hang on. Just before we do, just give me 2 seconds. Just going to come up. There's another one here from Fabrizio. He remains a target for Liverpool even after signing Ekitike, but it depends on Newcastle. If Newcastle open the doors to an exit and sell Diaz, they can bid after direct contact made 10 days ago. Isak not in concrete talks. Oh, that's where you want to go there. Okay, I see. I'll let you finish that sentence, mate.
We're off to Saudi Arabia for the next part of the show.
Well, Saudi PIF, owners of Newcastle, struggling with spending. Okay, what better way than to send it to your brothers at Al Hilal than send him there and make it 150 million euros, make it a British record fee.
I'll do more than that when they could do 200 million. There's no, like, Al Hilal could spend whatever they want and it could be justified on that, on Isak.
Correct. Who's gonna argue with them? And then, lo and behold, Newcastle can go out and blow 200 million or more.
It's all about the PSR. It's all about the FFP. It's all about the loopholes. It's all about the money.
We can't rule it out, Martin. You say he's definitely not going, but we can't rule this stuff out because we've seen it done before. Sean and I mentioned this last year on Spurs Talk Show about John Duran. We've spoken about Aston Villa sending players out there. We've spoken about Chelsea sending players out there to give them the FFP and PSR. So we cannot rule it out. But obviously the talking point would have to be him going to Liverpool. But
where else could he go, mate? Let's play hypotheticals here. If Liverpool, if Newcastle United are a bit pissed off with Liverpool because essentially Liverpool said to them, look, you can have Isak or you can have Ekitike, but you can't have both. And they said, well, you're not having Isak. They said, okay, we'll take Ekitike. Go and get Ekitike done. In the meantime, they still have a conversation with the agent of Isak and say, look, just put in a transfer request. Make yourself unsettled, right? The same thing probably happened with what Newcastle were doing to Visser's agent. So that Visser ended up asking for a transfer request and leaving the Brentford training ground. Could it be that there's like little rivalries emerging here potentially, hypothetically, conspiratorially speaking, that maybe Newcastle go, you can go anywhere that's got the money apart from Liverpool because they said that we can have one or the other, and now they want both. They're too greedy. They can't do it all. So where else could Isak go? Realistically, where else could Isak go? And have Arsenal shit the bed by paying up for Gyökeres when Isak was available all the while?
Correct. I was going to come on to that one because they would have probably done Isak first without any doubt. Without any doubt. Will they now, Arsenal, try selling a whole load of players to try and add Isak to their stable? Or have they spent too much already that they wouldn't be able to do it? That's the question. But, we can't rule out the Saudi move because that gives them no argument in paying the fee because they would jump at it, Al Hilal, to pay them.
Pay it all up front as well, no installments.
Right. Yeah, which would allow Newcastle to actually go on and explode and go and buy the players that are needed. I mean, right now, they've been refused on quite a few players over the last few weeks. They have been refused by João Pedro, Hugo Ekitike, Brian Mbuemo, Mark Gahey, Liam Delap, Mateus Cunha, Scalvini, although that's maybe still open, James Trafford. And the only one that got over the line is Anthony Elanga. And just to throw some more news there, the news today is that Arsenal are very interested in Anthony Gordon.
They're leaving the Geordie ship like rats.
We can't hold it, Captain. We're sinking.
What's going on? Everyone wants out of Newcastle. Everyone wants out.
Shit.
Nobody wants to leave Tottenham. Even the players we're desperate to see them leave, they won't leave. What's going on?
Vissa, listen, there's a lot of discontent. Gyökeres is, threw his toys out the pram. Vissa says he's not going. He wants to leave. And now, I don't know. I mean, now we got Alexander Isak doing the same. The only one who's not doing it is Morgan Gibbs-White.
I'll tell you what, though. This story today is potentially a nuke on the transfer market. Because I think most people were presuming that he wasn't going to leave, right? Or he wasn't going to behave like this and put in the transfer request and unsettle things and then force a move. If you really do have an unhappy player, are you really going to keep them? Maybe you can convince him to stay. Maybe he's playing for a major contract upgrade. Who knows what he's looking to achieve here, right? But maybe he'll get paid 300 grand a week with a £150 million release clause entered into the contract or something. So it gives him a reward for staying, but gives him a get out next year or something like that. But in a world where he does leave, mate, this wide open, this transfer market in the forward line becomes wide open again because you still haven't got the resolution of Ollie Watkins. You still haven't got the resolution of Dusan Vlahovic. You still haven't got the resolution of Vissa. You still don't have the resolution of Bradley Barcola in Paris, who might be still going. You still don't have the resolution of about 5 or 6 other
Nicholas Jackson
medium tier
and Kunu and Cuckoo. I mean, there's a whole load. I feel sorry for Anthony Elanga, who sold the dream of playing alongside Alexander Isak. I mean, Newcastle must be gutted now. They let Callum Wilson go because he could have been their starting centre back now. I mean, really, honestly,
if he's starting,
I'll tell you who they do have, and you got to watch him this season. That's William Osula, right?
The Danish guy,
yeah, the Danish boy, right? He's I think he's going to be a really good striker. Good recruiting, this kid. I mean, he's likely to, the way things are going, he could be starting. But yes, Cesco
as well. You got the guy from Dortmund. You got Adeyemi. There's a lot of players out there. There's a lot of players out there, and a lot of teams that are willing to shake up the market, mate. I think it's going to be a fascinating August. I really do. In the sort of second half of the transfer window, especially at the top end of the pitch. And that's just strikers, by the way. There's still a whole bunch of left wingers that are still going to be moving around. We still haven't got the resolution on Martinelli or Trossard. We don't know where Luis Diaz is going to go. We don't know if Sonny's going to move. We don't know. There's half a dozen. The only one that's really been resolved in the left winger / forward space is Rashford. There's still a lot. Mikkel Tadzi over at Lyon. He's going to get a move somewhere. Malik Fofana. He's going to get a move somewhere. There's so much going on. Darwin Núñez as well. There's so many people still to move.
Can I add another one? Yeah. Mika Bireth, right? The Monaco striker is of big interest. He's former Arsenal player. Is a big interest now between Aston Villa and Newcastle. Newcastle are interested in the Monaco striker.
Is he former Arsenal, was he?
Yes. Well, I think he was as a kid. He could possibly leave Monaco. They're looking for a fee of £40 million.
Wow. Yeah, he was. He was a Fulham kid, and then Fulham took him to. He went to Arsenal. And then he had loads of loans at Woolwich in Holland, Motherwell, Sturm Graz, and eventually he moved to Sturm Graz and then moved to Monaco immediately after that. Interesting. Didn't know that.
Yeah. So there you go. Under 21, Ash. That's right. Correct. Correcto mundo. Correcto mundo. Come to.
He'll go, so who was he linked with? Villa and
Newcastle.
Okay, no. Newcastle United fans are probably having a meltdown right now. Newcastle fans are probably having a meltdown right now. Poor team. It's interesting, isn't it, mate? Like Newcastle, they get the monkey off their back. They finally get the catalyst into their, it's like the wind in their sails for winning the Carabao Cup. They're on the march. Good owners, great manager. The only concern about the manager, from what I can gather, and let me know if Foxy's in the house here or any other Newcastle fans. By the way, guys, there's 560 people here. Love to see it. Please smash the like. And if you are watching, all you got to do is hit the subscribe, and then the chat's open to you. You can unsubscribe afterwards if you want. No problem. I'd love you to stay.
The channel's growing, guys. The channel's growing, and couldn't do it without you. We're on our way to 4,000, which is unbelievable in just 2.5 months. As people have been going years, haven't got as many as us. We're on our way. And if you want the latest football news, regardless of what club you support, this is the place to come and get it. And we thank everyone in here. In the comments who keeps us on the straight and narrow, because sometimes we get it wrong and you fill us in. I think the most enjoyable part about doing a total football channel is the education that you're getting by paying attention more and then getting re-straightened, or if you're going off the path a little bit on things you say that are not entirely accurate about other clubs. So really appreciate it. But yeah, with the Newcastle thing, Johnny, I just feel like everything was going in the right direction. The only concern that I've heard a few Newcastle fans talk to me about Eddie Howe is that he doesn't really have too much history of successful relationships with directors of football. He seems to have a bit of clashes quite a bit of the time. I don't know if that's... Paul Mitchell leaving in May was an absolute disaster for them.
Yeah, 100%. But they go and win the cup. The club are trying to show ambition going after all these players. Unfortunately, when you go after the top tier, when a super top tier team realizes that the players available or whatever, all it takes is a phone call, and then you end up being cop blocked. But if you're a Newcastle fan, you're probably thinking this summer was going to be the kind of catalyst to the next level. And unfortunately, now it looks like everyone they're trying to get, someone else gazumps them, and now they're also maybe going to be losing Anthony Gordon and Alex Isak. It doesn't matter how much money you've got. If you really want to go after the very best, but every time you do, a City, an Arsenal, a Liverpool, or whoever else comes in and says, "No, he's not going to you; he's coming to us," or a Chelsea, for example, then it's must be fairly disheartening. Welcome to the wonderful world of being a Tottenham fan, Newcastle fans. We're in the same boat, guys.
Yes, it's the same thing. Sean, let's throw up. Let's have a look here. Can we throw up the image I showed you before, and let's just see. And bearing in mind, in this image, we haven't even included all of the players, right? All of the players that have signed. We've had to leave some out from Liverpool, obviously. Who would you say, guys, has, out of those 5 teams, the best strike force? I mean...
Liverpool for me.
Yeah, I mean, it's still growing, though.
I don't know how Manchester United have snuck into that Big 5 thing. What are we doing here?
Well, because I suppose Mbeumo, Cunha, Bruno Fernandes. I mean, those two could be swapped out, but Man United maybe shouldn't be in there. But Chelsea, Arsenal, Liverpool, and Manchester City certainly are. And have Manchester City now. We sort of forgotten about Man City because they did their business so early in the transfer window. But still, a fit Haaland with Mamouche and Cherky, Reinders, right?
Insane.
Yeah. I mean, that's a fantastic strike force. And look, we know Chelsea are looking for Xavi Simons to come in there as well to add to that attack. We don't know who Arsenal are going to add. They could easily add Eze to it. And look at that.
I don't think Odegaard is consistent enough in the big games. I think he goes missing in the big ones. So for me to rank them in order, I'd say Liverpool head and shoulders at the moment. I'd probably say
it's going to be between City and Chelsea, isn't it?
Yeah, I'd probably take City second, Chelsea third. I still think Chelsea are a monster striker. I don't think they've got a Delap's a good player, but he's not a monster. Yeah, Pedro I see more as a left winger, to be honest, but maybe he's certainly a striker as well. He can do both. A bit like Ekitike. I think Ekitike's a 9, but he certainly drifts left. So I'd probably say Liverpool, City, Chelsea, Arsenal. I'm not even including United. I think Newcastle have got a better front line than United. I think Aston Villa at the moment have probably got a better front line than United. Actually, no, maybe not.
No, they have.
But either way, United shouldn't be in there. It should be a top 4, not a top 5. To be honest.
Tell me something. Charlton King has said, "Do you think Chelsea would put up the money for Isak? What would they do? Then try and sell one of the players they just bought?
Yeah,
they'd have 6 strikers then."
Someone said to me the other day, why wouldn't Chelsea just set up a new team, call it like Chelsea or FC Chelsea or something, register half of these, like sell this team to themselves, register half the players, and then basically have 2 different teams, one of them sitting in the Ryman League or whatever, and then just have these players in a loan situation where you could loan them into. I don't know. To me, it's insane. I don't understand how Chelsea can just keep buying players and not have to ever worry about the sell before you buy thing, whereas you've got teams like Tottenham that are sitting there going, well, part of the reason why we can't go and get a Pellegrini is because we can't get rid of Bissouma. Part of the reason why we can't go and get a Malik Fofana is because we can't get rid of Son yet. Part of the reason we can't put a bid in for Vissa is because we've still got Richie and we've got Solanke. Like, it's Chelsea don't seem to give a shit, do they?
No, I mean,
I don't know why we care.
Angus is upset. Listen, Angus, I can see what you're saying. Gyökeres, Noni, Saka.
Noni Madueke. What are we doing here, Angus?
Well, he's saying, but at the moment, Liam Delap is talented, but he's still got to do it in the league. Very good player. João Pedro, we've already seen what he can do. But they're still signing players, mate. They're still signing players.
Sorry. Apart from Saka, who else in the Arsenal front line gets into the Chelsea front line?
Well, Gyökeres probably.
Maybe we'll wait and see. He's not done it in the Premier League yet. Possibly. I saw a clip on. There was some salty. I think it was a salty Man United fan that put out a clip of all of Gyökeres's faux pas last year. If you see it, it was. If you watch that and you just saw that, you go steer clear. He's a pothole, bro.
No,
he's 6'2" and he can't head the ball.
He's not a pothole. He's not a pothole.
But I know he's not a pothole. I'm just saying that was the take,
So Chelsea wanted Ethan Nwaneri while we're on Arsenal this summer, but he's set to sign a new contract and things are advanced. Anthony Gordon, I don't know how much substance we can put in that one. We know there's been previous interest. But the interesting one from Christian Falk, the Bayern insider, is that Arsenal could be the one to watch for Bayern Munich, who want to sell the Portuguese midfielder, not loan him out, which is what Spurs are doing.
Which player, sorry?
Paulinho.
Paulinho. Yeah.
But Paulinho's preference is to actually not leave at all because he's on a long contract and to stay at Bayern Munich.
Yeah, that's the problem, isn't it? When you go to Bayern Munich and the next path is down, it's another trigger. It's another sign that your career is on the decline, isn't it? And it's probably difficult for people to swallow, like that kind of recognition that you're not going to get any better than this. So you don't want to leave.
No. Chelsea's go on.
Would you take Paulinho and pay his wages and a hefty loan fee for a 30? How old is he? 29? Just turned 30.
30. Yeah. Listen, for me, it's a loan with an option. That's what you do because has his form gone and has the injuries started to take its toll? We don't want to be taking someone and signing him on a 3-year contract and then having
Another Deadwood.
Max Dowman, Angus. He's Max for those listening on audio. Angus McDowell has asked me what my thoughts are on Max Dowman. He's a sensational player. He's going to be your new Saka, the new Nwari or Skelly. Arsenal have got a fantastic conveyor belt of talent. If you want to see how good he is, just go and watch him in the friendly against Milan, and then you'll see how good he was. I'm sure you agree with that one.
He's a good player. Real Madrid are considering making a last-minute offer for Ibrahim Konate. Liverpool set their price at 50 bar, while Real won't go beyond 25 million. That's coming from the same people that brought us the Rodrigo to Tottenham story, a Real Madrid related news journal, and they got 3.3 million followers, but he also said that Rodrigo to Tottenham was on, and then Romano came out yesterday and said, no, it's not. So not sure if this is true, but 25 million euros for Konate.
Well, the problem is, yeah, I mean, look, he's no closer to agreeing a contract with Liverpool, and Liverpool are desperate to sign him. He's got interest from Real Madrid, PSG, Barcelona, and Bayern Munich. The problem for Liverpool is, having already let Quansah go to Bayer Leverkusen, they're not sure whether they can get Mark Gahey out of Crystal Palace. Zabiani looks like he could be, well, he said his preference is to go to PSG. They can't afford to let him go. It's as simple as that. They're already threadbare. You can't go into a Premier League and Champions League season with 3 centre-backs, Sean. It's as simple as that. They need at least 1 or 2 more signings, I believe, at centre-back.
Yeah, exactly, 100%. And then there's the story that Mark Gahey, basically, I think is saying he either wants Liverpool or he's more than happy to stay and run down his contract. So Palace are still trying to hold on to him. But apparently Ben Jacobs came out yesterday in a video and said on Give Me Sports, said that Palace are increasingly likely now to sell him because they know that there's no chance of him signing a new contract. He's let them know that he's going to run down the contract unless they sell him. So it begs the question, do you see the resolution of Konate to Real Madrid for the same price point as what you'll see Gahey go to Liverpool for? Basically, just like a little bit of a domino there, an easy story. I'll sell you Konate if he's definitely leaving, but only if we can agree a term with Palace for Gahey. That's what I would imagine happens.
Yeah, I mean, listen, Man United right now are, having freed up the wages for Anthony. Freed up the wages now for Rashford. They're obviously struggling with Højlund, but the rumours won't go away that now the price has been dropped for Benjamin Cesco, that Man United look increasingly likely, after Arsenal have now done the business with Gyökeres and the other strikers that are going around. But United are close to an agreement finally with Javi Guerra. He looks like he thought he could sign a new contract with his current club, but they think that they can do the deal there. The one that they won't leave alone, which they tried to do a loan deal, but that was never going to work with Aston Villa, and they're trying to work out an agreeable fee, is the one position that we've said right from the start of our shows was Emi Martinez, a goalkeeper.
It's just too much money, mate. It's too much money for a guy who's 30. What is he, 35? Too much money.
I think he's a bit younger. Have
34, maybe 33. He's got one contract left in him. If you're paying him 150 grand a week on a 4-year contract, that's 7.5 million a year. So that's 30 million quid in a contract in the 4 years, and then 40 million quid. So 70 million pound for a one contract player without any resale value. It's a lot. I know he's one of the best goalkeepers in the league, and I love him. I think he's a brilliant goalkeeper and the shithouser and all that stuff as well. But it's a lot of money for someone with no sell-on value.
No, I agree with that. I mean, look, there's another player. We're going to stay with Man United. Alexander Garnacho says that he's got no interest in leaving the Premier League. He wants to stay within the Premier League. He's not interested in going to Italy. Chelsea are still keeping an eye on this situation, and there have not been any club-to-club talks yet, but he's one of the names on Chelsea's list, although the priority still remains Xavi Simons. I mean, you and I, as Spurs fans, still wonder whether he's good or he's a pothole.
Is a what?
Xavi Simons, Garnacho.
Yeah, oh, I know what you're calling him.
You better watch out for the pothole, 'cause it's something to avoid. Don't ignore all his issues. Don't ignore all the noise.
I can't see him going to Chelsea because they're going to get Simmons. He wants to stay in the Premier League. Is Spurs an option? Maybe he goes to Newcastle if they lose Anthony Gordon. You know, that's a proper. But
that makes a lot of sense. That's a good one. That's a good story there.
Yeah,
I'll take him at Tottenham, mate. I'll take him at Tottenham. If Cochrane has already worked with him, at United. He knows the guy. If him and Thomas Frank are on board it, I will take that chance because I think he is a potential pothole, but I genuinely think that there's a real player in there and is someone that can when he's fit, when he's happy, when he's firing, he's a scary player to play against. And it's not like he's lazy, mate. He presses from the front as well. You know, he does everything that you need if you're doing a high press. He's more than happy to put in the work rate. There's nothing to dislike about the player apart from the potential temperament issues, and that's it.
And obviously, there's not to forget the links to Cochrane, who trained him and was there with him at Manchester United's under-21s. That shouldn't be forgotten. It's just whether or not he believes or says to Thomas Frank, look, I work with him. I know what he's like. The kid's just misunderstood. I can turn him around and sell that to Frank. Then maybe there's a deal. Another Man United player, again linked to Spurs, is Kobe Mainoo. And Spurs are meant to be monitoring the situation because Kobe Mainoo is refusing to sign a contract. He still hasn't signed a contract extension. I know you're not a fan, Sean.
No.
Not interested in Kobe Mainoo, mate. Come on now, what are we doing here?
No. Well, listen, one player from Manchester who looks like he's definitely going to be on the move is, he has to be on the move, is Jack Grealish. And he's been linked now to Corriere dello Sport, to Napoli. I mean, everyone's linked to Napoli right now.
Yeah.
I can't see them paying any fee. Do you think that'd be a loan?
I feel like Napoli is one of these stories where it's just like everybody is linked to Napoli, and yet very little actually happens. Like we should do a Napoli segment of the show because every day there's like 400 different stories about players being linked to them. I don't know. I don't know what their needs are anymore. I don't know what their situation is with finances, and I maybe a loan would be the right thing. I just want to quickly ask Wolvesy this because Wolvesy's in the house. Good to see you, Wolvesy. Sorry, I know you're not a fan of the video there with Trump on it, mate. But you guys have got your boy John Arias, haven't you? From Fluminense, £15 million is all they ended up paying for him, mate. And the deal was done, I think, yesterday. He was the best player in the Brazilian Serie A last season. So, like, it's an absolute cracking signing for Wolves, isn't it, mate?
Yeah, I think it's sustained. It's just a rumor that he has an Arias, by the way. No one's confirmed it. Just going back, just back on the story in Newcastle, because I forgot to pivot to that. We talk about Eddie Howe struggling with directors of football and the goings and comings and goings. Ashworth, they've had Paul Mitchell, who's left. The latest one is Nottingham Forest Chief Football Officer Ross Wilson is emerging as the leading candidate to replace Paul Mitchell as the Newcastle Sporting Director, according to Ben Jacobs. So for any of you Newcastle fans in our group, I know there's a few of you, then that will be welcome because let's be honest, Forest have done some good business. I know Edu's come in now as the new Director of Football, but he's been there for quite a long while, Ross Wilson, with the players. So
and when Forest came up, but I think they initially, when they first arrived in the Premier League, they only had 8 full-time first team members in their squad, which is why they had to go through that massive loan spell and all that huge transition. And they made a few mistakes in there initially, but after that, mate, they had basically a close to I'd say a 90% hit rate with their transactions over the last 2 years. So I know obviously the director of football is probably more driving the identity of the players, but the chief footballing officer, there's not a lot to complain about from him. So Newcastle could do with a little bit of kind of continuity there with the director of football, the sort of footballing guy, and Eddie Howe. I think it's probably a good idea.
J Love, love to know your contact here. Eze, he's saying Eze is going to Spurs, which may surprise everyone. That's why Arsenal signed Madueke. As soon as Son leaves, it will be announced after the Korean tour. Please DM me your info. I'll be interested to hear that one. Guys, if you're in the chat and you haven't hit the like button, please hit the like button. It helps the algorithm. And if you're listening on audio, please hit the follow button and drop us a review. And if you're here for the very first time in the video on YouTube, please hit the subscribe button and help us on our journey to 4,000 subscribers. Couldn't do it without you. Sean, what have you got next?
Yeah, we're gonna have to go across to. I don't usually like banging out all these segments so quickly, but we do have to go to the next segment.
This is the turkey segment. The turkey segment of the show.
So Hakan Çalhanoğlu has been linked with a move away back to Turkey this summer, but the 31-year-old says he wants to stay at Inter. That was a story I think that you spoke about yesterday.
Yeah.
Let's had another little update there in the last hour from Gazzetta dello Sport. And whilst we're over in Turkey, mate, Manchester City want to keep Ederson despite Galatasaray expressing an interest in the goalkeeper who is about to enter the final year of his contract, and that's coming from the Independent. If Ederson does stay, does that allow... here's the question for you. Are Manchester City doing two things here that are similar sort of stories? They were looking at James Trafford that was going to come in. And if James Trafford, would James Trafford be okay to come in and be sort of rotation backup for 1 year, knowing that Ederson might be letting go for free at the end of his contract? And at the same time, is that a similar story as with Morten Holman from Sporting going in to be deputy for Rodri, who has obviously got a lot of interest from Real Madrid?
Yeah, I agree. And I think both of those are possible. I mean, Burnley were deep in negotiations with Newcastle to get James Trafford, and he was holding off, and something was stalling. Maybe the news that came in, that Manchester City wanted to take James Trafford back to Manchester City because he came through their academy. I think if I was him, I'd want to go back to the academy. And yes, I think, we've seen with Manchester City, with Pep, he will rotate the goalkeepers. So there's no way that James Trafford will go there and he won't get game time. He'll get game time in the cup games, might not get the Champions League, but he might get the odd Premier League game. He would definitely get game
what about
time.
Ortega, though? Where does Ortega go then?
Well, maybe Ortega's time's up, mate. Maybe Ortega.
I think he's obviously not Ederson level, but is he a goalkeeper that could end up at Newcastle?
Yeah, potentially. You never know. Well, listen, they can't just have Pope and what's his name, the other guy. I keep forgetting his name now. That plays. So I don't know. It's a tricky one. That's a tricky one. Look, Turkey was big at the start when we started our show. Every single deal at the beginning was linked to Turkey. Victor Osimhen, which when we was talking about this, was 70.
Is that finally done now? It's done, isn't it?
Oh, well, no, they still haven't got the final.
It's still not done.
No, because they're waiting. No, we want a bank transfer.
Of course, it was 40 plus 35. But yeah.
The minute we got here, we've written it on a piece of paper. IOU. No. We need a bank guarantee, right? Guarantee. But we haven't got one.
Right, yeah. They're not interested in showing you the bank statements, are they?
No.
You want proof of funds, boss? You want proof of funds, boss? You want some mayonnaise, chili sauce on the proof of funds?
No, it's not happening.
No, we're doing some accents. This is the accent part of the show.
No, it's. I can't see them pulling out now. Would it be great if suddenly Newcastle, with the Isak money, came in and smashed it out the park for Victor Osimhen? But the funny thing is, Newcastle, if they did come in for Victor Osimhen, without knowing it, would actually be helping Liverpool, because if they did that deal, then Napoli might then go and finally add Darwin Núñez to the striker they bought from Udinese and have a good strike force, which will then give Liverpool the money to go and complete the Alexander Isak deal. Yeah, there's so many triangles here. All right, it's all linked.
Yeah, it's dominoes, mate. Dominoes, like a house chain. West Ham will rival Everton in the race to sign Dougie Luiz from Juve after Aston Villa pulled out of the race to re-sign the 27-year-old. What's going on with Dougie Luiz, mate? Like, people have been messaging me saying, yeah, like the kind of unknown entity about Douglas Luiz is always his relationship, whether he's happy or sad with Leishman or whatever her name is, the football star. Like that obviously dictates a lot of his happiness, and it's quite like a public relationship. And I don't know whether it's on or off right now, but part of the reason why he hasn't done it at Juve is because of that, the troubles in their relationship. Do you know anything about that? Are you familiar with that story?
No, but there was another player in Italy whose wife was always getting her fruity bits out. I can't remember what was her name now. I'm trying to think of the name of the player.
Fruity bits.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, I feel like I just stepped back into the 70s.
Yeah, no. It's a bit of a carry-on one, that one. Yeah, but look, it can be a distraction. We all know, we've all been in relationships. We've all been in the odd toxic one, maybe when we were young or what have you, in love, and the bird's not playing along, or vice versa. Maybe she's a bunny boiler. Who knows?
Icardi, was it Icardi?
Icardi, that's the one, Mario Icardi, and he's thank you for that in the comments there. This is what you're here for, to help us out when we get stuck. There's so many names for us to remember. Obviously, we know quite a bit, but we get stuck sometimes.
Just super quick, Tommy. I don't really care, mate, if it's culturally inappropriate in your eyes, bro. We do all accents here, mate. We do all accents. We do Welsh accents all the time. We do French accents. I don't really care, bro. If it's not for you, it's not for you, my man. You can leave anytime you want. We're not woke on this channel, mate. We have fun. That's what we do. So
if you're offended by it, I apologise, but
I don't apologise. I don't apologise at all. It's just an accent, mate. It's an accent. Stop being silly. What are we doing here? What are we fucking doing
right,
here?
now off to Brighton and Borussia Dortmund. There are your papers. That should help.
Oh, there you go. Too.
There are your papers. Right, there are your papers. Borussia Dortmund are one of several clubs in active talks to sign Buonanotte from Brighton. They've decided to target him. I hate this bit. Decided to target him due to a deal for Chelsea's Carney Chukwuemeka, looking complicated. Leon are also one to watch. So I don't know. I really like Buonanotte.
Yeah.
I don't know what you think of him. I mean, Chelsea, Brighton.
They make lovely ice cream. Lovely.
Yes, they do. And we're moved to Chelsea there, eBay FC, and the news that they've made a official contact with Ajax for Jarrell Hato. It's emerging that the club's next top target. Hato is very keen on the move and is already prepared to accept the personal terms offered by Chelsea. Negotiations between the clubs are ongoing. The relationship is good and all parties expect the deal to go through. What a player he is. Now, we're big fans of his. If you watched him for Holland in the under-21s, you'll see, he's a proper unit player. I just like Chelsea we reckoned at the last count have about 7 or 8 players that they need to sell.
I don't know where he fits into their team. Is he coming in to be like he plays in the 10? He's like Xavi Simons, yeah.
Yeah, there's just an update actually. Hato to Chelsea is moving. Hato. Hato to Chelsea is moving ever closer. He's agreed the personal terms and has told Ajax of his desire to leave and only for Chelsea and to complete the move to Stamford Bridge, according to Fabrizio Romano.
Well, I guess that kind of makes sense, right? Because he's a left-sided centre back who's a left back who can play left-sided centre back. Yeah. Young, up and coming, versatile. At the moment, who am I thinking of? Cucurella is the only left back. I'm trying to think of in Chelsea's team. Who else is? Does Chilwell go out there occasionally? Who was the player that Chelsea sold to Newcastle or loaned to Newcastle that was a centre back? Someone in the chat will let me know if you can't remember, Johnny. But it's I'm pretty sure that the left back options at Chelsea right now are Cucurella or Chilwell, who's more of a.
Are you talking about Livramento? Because he was
no, there was someone else that was on a. Oh wait, it's not an important part of the conversation.
Gerald Hatto's agent,
Lewis Hall. That was
Lewis Hall. Yeah, Gerald Hatto's agent, Humphrey Nijman, said yes. The club have contacted Ajax. All I can say is that Gerald is now talking to Chelsea. I mean,
cracking player, mate. Really cracking player. Would love to have seen him. When you think about, not to make this about Tottenham, but sometimes it comes back this way. Tottenham are looking for a left-sided centre-back and a left-back to fill 2 holes there. You can get one in several players, but of the kind of versatile left-footed defenders that can play a bit of both, Johnny, there was David Hansco, and yesterday he went to Atletico Madrid. There was Jarell Hatto, and today he's going to go to Chelsea. There's not a hell of a lot of other players out there that can do that are of that caliber, apart from your boy Hincapie.
Exactly, Hincapie is the one who can play left centre back and left back equally. And by Leverkusen having a clear out, I'd be going there to get him. Adam Phillips asking, Chilwell's already gone A&T. No, he was linked, Adam, to Leeds. Another player Leeds are looking to complete a deal on. I
want to ask this, Johnny. Let's move away from the transfer specifically for a second.
Yeah.
The last part of the show that we said here are the top 4 uncatchable. Like I said this on the stream yesterday on my channel. Is there a scenario where in a world where Tottenham suddenly went and had an outrageous window in the last month? I don't think it matters whether Tottenham went and signed Cesco, Rodrigo, Polinia, and Hincapie, for example. I still think that would be the very best window that Tottenham have ever had in my memory, if I'm entirely honest. But you still would sit there and say we are further away, having had the best window ever, even though that's not a window that's going to happen. But having had that best window of all time, we are still further away than the top 4 than when we started the summer, because every one of them has smashed it out of the park. Chelsea, hats off if they get Hatto. That's a really good fit for them. If they get Simmons, I don't know if he's just going to come in and rotate with like Jamie Gittins and or Cole Palmer. But I don't know where he fits in. But either way,
I mean, they're just
unbelievable amount of strength up there now.
Yeah.
Liverpool obviously are just walking away with the window of their dreams, and City did a lot of early business, so people are kind of forgetting what they've done. That's a bit forgotten, but yesterday's news. But they still have improved massively, and now they're just looking about succession planning. Now they're looking about we're good for this year, but next summer, well, let's just get someone in now in the goalkeeper. Let's get someone in Morten Holman, so that when Rodri's gone, like those 4 teams have just walked away. And everybody else is feeding off the scraps. Is there any chance that anyone else from the 5th place downwards can actually catch up relative to what they've done? Or is it a case of just trying to do what you can do and just hope for the best?
I don't think Aston Villa can because of their financial constraints. We've seen they're looking to maybe have to sell. Spurs, if we signed Kudos, Morgan Gibbs-White, and we continue to spend, potentially we could be top 5. Who else? I think it's difficult, to be honest with you. Manchester United, look, if they can get rid of some of their players and they can move a couple on and bring in some defenders, I think they would have a good team. It's just they need to get rid of Højlund and they need to bring in a top striker. I think the ceiling is 5th. It's top 6. I think top 6 in his first season with that team, right, with that squad against the squads that they're up against right now would be an achievement. I'll be brutally honest. Don't forget, we had 22 losses. I don't believe any team can go from 22 losses, right, and finishing 17th to suddenly just go 4th, right? I think Spurs fans are expecting too much. I see it unless he's top 5. That's what Ange got. But hang on a second, like clubs have moved on. Ange spent £300 million and we've lost 34 league games in his tenure, 22 from last season. So, we've regressed while other teams have massively progressed with their output, their acquisitions over the last 2 or 3 years. Or
who's the favourite for 5th, do you think? It's got to be one of United, Villa, Newcastle, or Tottenham, right?
Yeah,
I can't imagine Brighton or West Ham
I would say
or any of these guys are going to.
Yeah, maybe at this stage, Newcastle, if they can hang on to Isak somehow or Gaia or Ted, but it should be between us. Really, should be between us for 5th place, between us and Newcastle and Man United, I think.
See, if Villa like struggle in the league because of their caps on their spend, but if they get a relatively decent draw, a little bit of luck and everything else, then they can go on and win the Europa League. But I think they'll be one of the favourites for Europa. It's probably close, but I think they'll be one of the favourites. And then they'll be back in the Champions League for the season after next. So then their ambitions can kick in again as long as they get the right side. And as long as they don't get decimated this summer by losing like an Ollie Watkins or whatever else. And if Ollie Watkins does go to Manchester United, then I think they become a real threat again in that race for 5th spot. And I don't know much about that Birth guy, but if he's the guy that Villa are looking for to replace Ollie Watkins in a world where that happens, then I don't know if he's good or not. I've got no idea. But to me, Villa have got a chance of being in the Champions League via the same route that we took. But in the league at the moment, I think that Tottenham, I think it's kind of inseparable. It's difficult to pick between the 4 teams after the top 4. It's a real difficulty. And then whoever doesn't make it into the Champions League from those 4 teams, well, then you can't compete financially again, can you? It's like a cyclical kind of nightmare. And these 4 teams above us are just pulled away and will cement themselves as the big 4 for a long time to come. It's problematic.
Yeah, I think I'm hoping for one of the most exciting championships in a long, long time. I'm really excited about this season. Don't ask me why.
The championship?
No, sorry, the title.
The league. Oh, yeah.
Because Sunderland having spent already £107 million and looking to get Granit Xhaka to be the glue to bind all that together. Leeds spending money, the 49ers doing like the 49ers are spending money both at Glasgow Rangers and at Leeds. Glasgow Rangers fans very happy, and a big shout out to Glasgow Rangers for winning 2-0 at Panathinaikos in the home leg, going away next week. Now, if they manage to make the Champions League, that's a massive game changer for them, because they've been in the Europa League and what have you for the last few years, Conference League. For them to get there now would give them the war chest that's been missing for a long time. So, you know
what we should do, Johnny? When you get back from your holiday, we should have a mid-transfer window Premier League prediction thing where we get 2 tables up, right? 0 to 20 or 1 to 20. No teams filled in, and then we go through one by one and say, as that thus far on the window, where do you see it like landing? And then one at the end, one on August the 31st or September the 1st. We'll do that next week. If you fancy it.
And I've got to do it. I'm going to try and do it today, guys, is to set up the football.
It's not live yet, is it, mate? I've gone to Fantasy League and it's not live. It doesn't load.
Really?
I'm not on my computer. Can anyone let us know? Is the Premier League Fantasy League thing available yet?
I do a league. I will set up a fantasy, a Football Inc. Fantasy League for everyone to come and take part in. My son normally beats me at it. Well, it's been close, actually. I think I've beaten him at some time as well. But that should be good fun. We'll obviously link that and have updates on that as the season goes ahead.
This is all I get when I every time I go into it, I just get stuck with this loading page.
Have you logged in?
It doesn't even give you a chance to. Look, it's like
it is live, mate. It's 100% live. 100% live. I think you maybe got to log in.
How am I supposed to log in? Doesn't give me anything.
There's different sections, mate. The Fantasy League. Just a quick news on Juventus. Federico Gatti has signed a new 5-year contract with Juventus. His new deal will be valid till June 2030 and includes a pay rise. Meant to be a top talent. Big up to Ashley Young, as we mentioned him yesterday, signing a 1-year deal with Ipswich. Big up to CAA and Eric, who I know for doing that deal and being with him for his whole career. I wouldn't be surprised if he ends up going into some sort of management deal there. I'm trying to see if there's any other news, Shawnee.
No, I think we're good, mate. I think we're good. I'll let you get back to the sunshine. I've got my brother and his 4 children, all under the age of 8, are around my house from tomorrow morning until Sunday. So I'm going to be I'll be Uncle Shawnee, favourite Uncle Shawnee, doing crazy things with a few kids. So I've got to go and get myself ready for that. And
we'll be back tomorrow. Just the fact that he's got crazy kids there won't mean that it will not be on. You just see 1 or 2 popping up in this.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The door's going to. That's exactly what's going to happen. The door's going to open. A kid's going to run in, and it's going to be mayhem.
You've seen the BBC. Get out of the room. Get out of the room, guys. If you're here and you haven't hit the like button, please hit it now. It helps the algorithm. And if you're here for the first time watching the show, please share it with your friends. Please hit the subscribe button and the notification bell, because you never know when Sean and I are going to go. It's normally at any time between 9:30 in the morning and 9:30 at night. And also, don't forget, tonight is the launch of the Spurs 5. Should be interesting.
Guys, if you are watching this, please just do us a little favour. Trying to get as many people over as possible. Here is the link. If you could fancy, if you wouldn't mind just smashing that subscribe, putting on your notifications as well, because the channel's been in sort of hibernation for a long time, so it's probably not going to be sending out signals to the algorithm for a while. So 8 p.m. tonight. I'll actually be doing a front run of that 7 p.m. on my channel for a little preview, whatever's going on in the Tottenham space, and then we'll move over together at 8 o'clock. Foxy's saying spin the wheel South American edition soon. Yeah, what leagues do you fancy doing in the South America one?
Listen, we got, if we're going to do one South America, it's got to be Brazil, I think.
Brazil,
yeah.
Okay. If I get Botafogo though, and I've realised that my team's under John Textor's ownership model, don't know about that. I have to figure that one out. All right, guys, love you all. We will see you. We'll see you tonight, and we'll then see you tomorrow as well. I'm not sure what time. I have to figure that out with Johnny, but. Love you all. Thanks again. Like, subscribe, and comment. And if the audio versions are your thing, links are in the description. Please do get over to or search for us on Spotify or Apple Pods and smash the follow there and the 5-star. We appreciate you guys. Thanks for the love. Thank you for the super chats. Oh, by the way, I'm so sorry, Tony. We didn't see this until just now. Super sticker train. It barely got going today.
Tony, one of our biggest supporters. Tony over there in Sweden. Thanks a lot, Tony.
Love you, man. Love you guys. See you later. As always.
Goodbye from me.
And it's goodbye from that guy. Bye.